I've always identified as a productivity junkie. For as long as I can remember, I've worn this title like a badge of honor. I love setting big goals, writing out ambitious to-do lists, and I would be lying if I didn't admit that one of my favorite hobbies is checking things off of my to-do list. Whether it's written down in my planner or typed into a notes app on my computer, I must take the time to slowly cross it out and stare at it. I've even gone so far as to write out an item after I've completed it specifically so that I can cross it out. It's some weird form of self-validation. Like I have to see items crossed off of a list in order to feel like I've made use of the day. Anyone relate? If we haven't met, hi, I'm Meredith. I'm a small business owner and a new mom, and I'm striving to bring more thoughtfulness and intention into my life so that I can be a better wife, a better mom, a better friend, and a happier human. It's a daily practice, and I'm documenting the journey here on YouTube. If you'd like to join me, I'd love for you to subscribe. I was definitely convinced that these neurotic type A habits served me well in college and through my early 20s. But as I approached 30, something started to shift. I started to feel more tired, more drained. Quiet moments doing dishes, taking showers, and even dozing off to sleep became louder and more anxiety-inducing because I couldn't help but think through what I needed to get done the next day for the third, fourth, and even fifth time, as though it wasn't already clearly written out on a to-do list that I put together 3 weeks ago. My motto has been, I just need to get through this project and then I'll feel better. If I can just finish this one work item, my business will explode and my life will be so much easier. But the thing is, there's always another project. And businesses don't just explode overnight. They're like seeds. They require time, days and days and days of tender love and care. And equally as important are times when we're not hovering over them. Dark nights when energy and creative ideas can germinate and contribute to further growth. And then gradually, over time, we look out and see the fruits of our labor as they grow and flourish in ways that we couldn't have possibly imagined. Any business or creative endeavor that actually explodes overnight won't have the deep roots needed to support long-term success. Sustainability is built through intentional consistency over time. But if the gardener works as hard as they can all day, every day for weeks, months, even years without rest, constantly thinking they're about to cross some imaginary finish line, the quality of their efforts will start to diminish. Not only that, but they will likely start to resent the plant and all the other gardeners around them. And in the few hours they do break, they may find themselves unable to turn their brains off and actually rest because they're so preoccupied with all the unfinished work that lies ahead of them. In case it's unclear, I am the overworked, overthinking, burned out gardener. And my bet is that many of you are as well. I know I'm not alone in these feelings. Of course I'm not. We've all been conditioned to feel this way. Think about it. Starting at the age of 5, we were expected to sit in a desk for 6 to 8 hours a day and work. And we were graded on that work. Those who got A's were praised, and those who didn't were shamed. We're told they weren't good enough. We're told they needed to work harder, study harder. So it's no wonder that we carry these habits into adulthood. This need to constantly fill our time with work and to find our validation through the amount of work we accomplish. But as humans, we're just not biologically designed to work this much. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work, believes that most people can only focus deeply for about 4 hours a day. 4 hours. Everything else is just fluff, or as he calls it, pseudo-productivity. Taking meetings, writing lists, spinning your wheels, and inevitably absent-mindedly scrolling, the use of visible activity is the primary means of approximating actual productive effort. In his book, Slow Productivity, The Lost Art of Accomplishment Without Burnout, he poses the question, does more work, more busyness actually yield better results? Or is the facade of busyness slowly burning our energy, wrecking our personal lives, and leaving us with nothing truly valuable to show for it. So instead of creating a bunch of lofty goals for the new year that are unsustainable past the month of February, here are 5 mindful habits to last us the year. Let it go. Leave work at work. Now, this is a big one for me because, as I've shared, if I'm not intentional about this, my brain just runs a constant loop of all the unfinished work that lies ahead, as though thinking about the fact that it exists again and again is going to make it easier to accomplish once I actually sit down to do it. I mean, talk about pseudo-productivity. We all know there's no value in this. All it does is upregulate my nervous system and pull me from being truly present with my loved ones. I know this, and yet I still do it. So it's a daily practice. When I'm done for the day, I shut my computer, close my eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and say, I'll see you tomorrow. And if I later catch myself running the hamster wheel of unproductive thoughts while I do the dishes, I again take a breath and tune into the sensations of the present moment, feeling the warm water on my skin, or listening to my daughter's coos as she plays next to me. These acts of mindfulness set me up for the following workday far more than the mental hamster wheel ever could. Habit number 2, work on one project at a time. This advice comes from Cal Newport, and I found it to have a huge impact on both my work and my happiness. You know those people who constantly have 15 tabs open on their web browser? That's what working on multiple projects at the same time is like for our brains. When we constantly have 15 mental tabs open, not only is this overwhelming, but we have to spend valuable time and energy flipping through them all, constantly reminding ourselves what's going on with each tab and where our progress is at. In fact, there's a whole industry of software specifically designed to help modern workers manage and track all of the projects they've got going on. And while these softwares can be helpful, and they are certainly visually pleasing, we have to wonder, is it all a bit excessive? What if I devoted myself to one project at a time and poured everything I had into it, gave it my undivided attention? I would likely feel happier with the final product, and more importantly, I would probably actually finish it quicker than I would have if I was trying to complete 3 other projects alongside it. Okay, these last 3 habits are here to remind us what we require as humans on a biological level. When we don't meet our biological needs, how can we expect our plants to thrive? Firstly, move your body every single day. This doesn't need to be an hour-long workout. You can go for a walk, get down onto the floor and get back up again. Take 2 minutes to stretch. Anything to get your cells moving. We simply are not designed to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. And this physical restraint will lead to mental and emotional fatigue. Not to mention joint pain and tightness and so on. If you're someone who needs a little assistance in this department, I've put together a free resource to help you incorporate more movement into your daily routine. This is especially valuable for those who regularly do long stretches of computer work. I promise you're not a lost cause. You're allowed to work and still feel good in your body. Another biological need, get outside every single day. Unfortunately, I'm not actually a gardener by trade, so I have to be a little more thoughtful on this one. But simply stepping outside, rain or shine, breathing in the fresh oxygen, and allowing our eyes to look at things that are further than 1 foot in front of our face can have a deep impact on our stress levels, literally. Lastly, set boundaries with screen time. We're not meant to look at screens, period, let alone all day, every day. We know that the excessive blue light isn't great for our sleep, but additionally, as I just referenced, the act of staring at things up close like phones and tablets can literally put our bodies into fight or flight. We need breaks. And then from a social standpoint, the more we're on our devices outside of work hours, the less we're present with our loved ones. But these things are addicting. They're designed to hold our attention. So I'm just taking the temptation away completely. I am vowing to put my phone on airplane mode at the end of the workday and to not take it off until my daughter goes to daycare the next day. Your tech roles may not look exactly like mine, but think about it. How can you set yourself up for success? So there you have it. When we fully devote ourselves to projects and then create boundaries that allow us to work when it's work time and play or rest when it's not only is the quality of our work infinitely higher, or our plant infinitely greener, as it were, but we as the gardener can live fuller, richer, happier lives. May this new year bring less stress, overwhelm, and burnout, and more presence, more passion, bigger creative endeavors, and thriving plants.